about this time, I take this opportunity to read some of the letters that people write. Each week we get so many letters, and I discovered just a day ago, I was looking at some of the dates, and then some letters, they were actually written a few weeks ago. I did not realize that some people were writing into Webmaster and another site, USA site. And these letters, the person taking care of them or supposed to be taking care of them was not doing it that regularly and was sending them on late. So this also is one of the reasons why I'm only coming across some of those letters now. Just by chance I looked and said, oh, this letter looked like it's something. So I don't know if they're here today. We were prepared these ones. And we have a lot of letters. So I would just go until I am tired of it. Which I never know. Okay, so first one. Dear Muji, a simple but maybe complex question. Does not prayer speak of separation? I am the divine, so to whom am I praying? I am an integral being, so who am I addressing when I pray? Does prayer not speak of duality? Many thanks for your thoughts on this, and much love, Rose. Okay? So, I am an integral being. So who am I addressing when I pray? When you have a daughter, you say what? Oh, no, I have no daughter. That's duality. Oh, no, I'm a liberated being. I don't have a mother. I mean, that's duality. You cannot have experience without duality. You cannot have experience without duality. Even to speak about non-duality comes, you are involving duality. Because non-duality means nothing without duality, and duality means nothing without non-duality, like this. So this is only people who generally understand only mentally or intellectually what these things are, you see? Because it is said in one of the hadiths of the Prophet, he who seeks God finds himself, and he who seeks himself finds God. You see? You cannot divorce because throughout your life, how did you come to find out about this thing? How did you come to find out about the supreme state, the supreme being? Somebody taught you. You read some book. People, sometimes they don't like to acknowledge their sources. They want to tell you, oh, I did it all by myself. This is an arrogance, you see. But as soon as one begins to look into the heart of one's own self, you see, a love is emerging there. Some people, they don't have any belief before. They don't believe in any God, nothing at all. But as soon as their minds are immersed into the source, they begin to sing praises to the Supreme. They can't help it. It's not an intellectual thing. The intellectual thing is not anything at all. It's very dry understanding. Almost all the masters who have looked in, they have understood what it means, God, the supreme harmony. It's a natural thing. Nobody else can say, I see that absolute God. So you say, does not prayer speak of separation? You say, me and God. But God does not speak of separation. I am the divine, so to whom am I praying? You see? I am the divine, so to whom am I praying? Where did your concept of the divine come from? Where even the concept of the divine come from? I am the divine. Who taught you to say that thing? You see. So you have to all acknowledge, even your language you did not invent, it was taught to you. Your very body you did not create. Two people had some pleasure and you came along. You did not design. You say thank you to your parents. You say thank you to life for the joy of experiencing. How would you know about non-duality until you have tasted duality and you have seen that, in fact, duality and non-duality, they are one. Those who say there's no such thing as duality and some who say that there's only duality, that none of them really know the full truth, which is beyond all things. Let your heart sing in gratitude to existence, to life, to God, what you want to call. So only people who have this mental understanding only. The mind figures out, who are you praying to? There's only you. And they feel very happy. But then if their bank send them a wrong statement, they are very quick going to the bank with their non-duality mind to correct any mistake that they find. Isn't that duality also? So just relax and enjoy this diverse world in all its play. When you have properly understood, you'll see and find no conflict with duality or non-duality, which are mere concepts in the mind of one who is not yet awake to the full truth. It is fine that some beings, the consciousness does not have to testify to God, or it says, actually, I am myself also aware of God, at least within the human projections or imagination or something. But what I call God is the supreme state, the one totality. I am an integral being, so who am I addressing when I pray? If you turn inside and you say, rid me of all delusion, even of my separate self, and merge me in you, who are you speaking to? You're speaking to that totality. While you have the sense of yourself as one separate entity, you may say, I'm not separate, I'm the all-encompassing, but that is not true. Very few beings have reached that state. Mostly people imagine that they have reached that state. And life will continue to expose that you have not yet reached that supreme state. There will be no arrogance in you, and you'll find no fault with the expressions of the manifest universe. Like this, you see. Dear Smuji, I read somewhere that if someone gets enlightened, usually their body dies. Is this true? How can I overcome the attachment to my body and stop my mind from worrying about my health and death all the time? Many thanks, Marie. I read somewhere that if somebody gets enlightened, usually their body dies. Is it true? If each time someone wakes up to the truth, they die, then who will pass on this knowledge? Maybe the one who wrote that book is already dead. No, that's true. So how can I overcome the attachment to my body and stop my mind from worrying about my health and death all the time? You see? You have to know the difference between yourself and your mind. Your mind is doing all these things, bringing all these things. But it only came to such significance because we have a relationship with the mind in that way. We half believe it is what we are. It is like our number one companion. So when the mind, something comes in the mind, you feel that, yes, I am doing this, I am doing that. So it is first important to distinguish the difference between yourself and mind. That you are that which is witnessing the mind. The mind is not witnessing you. The mind is inert. It has no real life of its own. You see. It's just your belief gives it, empowers it, energizes it, and make it seem like it is separate and it has a life of its own. It's borrowed life, like the light of the moon. The moon, they say, has no light of its own. It is only reflecting the light from the sun. And people say, oh, I love the moonlight. I don't like the sun. I love moonlight. But it's all the sun's light. The mind is like that. It's only drawing the power from the heart. You see. But at least the moon is not proud. But the mind is proud. You see. So how can you stop your mind from worrying about your health and death all the time? Find out the one who observes the mind. Don't go anywhere and ask questions about it. Just where you are, look and say, but wait a minute, I am watching my mind and my mind's worry. But who am I who is watching this worry? Am I the worry itself? And stay with this question, stay with this question. At first it will seem like confusion will come, but gradually something will begin to make sense inside. It will touch you and you'll feel the very deep sense of understanding and peace will come to you. But you must persist. Very. Thank you. Hi Muji, I would like to ask you to respond to my contemplation about free will. We have so many feelings. Feelings of love, feeling of peace, feeling of anger. Are these emotions real? If they are, so what about free will? Because we have feelings of free will too. If not, why do we have natural feelings of something that doesn't exist? I am from Poland, so my English could be not great. Greetings, Adam. You want to ask about the contemplation on free will. We have so many feelings, feelings of love and of peace and anger. Are these emotions real? First then, you have to ask what is real, what it means real. We have to go back always to the fundamental question, because we are using many terms that we take for granted, but we probably not fully understood what they mean. So, you see, are these emotions real? If they are, so what about free will? Because we have feelings of free will also. If not, why do we have natural feeling of something that doesn't exist? Are these emotions real? So I say first, let's again look at what you mean by real. What does it mean real? Is it because you experience them means they're real? I say no. Because we experience many things that's a product of our imagination. And we suffer them also. And when you check it in, you find that it is not real. It is just something that your mind made up. You believed in it, accepted it to be true, and then suffered from the consequence of that belief in the thing. So what do you mean by real? Are emotions real? What is real? What is real? What it means real? Means that it is always real. Under any circumstances, under any mood, it is always going to be the same. It is untouched by the fluctuating expressions of the universe. It is untouched. That's the only thing. What is real like that? So this is a good question, you see. You're asking, are emotions real? Then I'm asking, what do you mean by real? Real means constant. It's unchanging. It's always the same. Do you know anything that is like that? Which is unchanging, constant, always the same. Do we look in the heavens? Look. The clouds are always moving. The stars are twinkling. They are not there in the day. It don't seem to be there. You can say, but I know they're there, but you can't see them in the day. Is there anything that's always the same? Everything that we look at is changing. You look in the ocean, the waves are changing. The waters are rising. The rivers, same thing. The streets, the same thing. People, they are one day to the next day, they are changing also. Your own moods you cannot control. They are changing also. Is there anything that you see that is not changing? If what is real means what is unchanging, what is always present. What is the constant and what is the variable? Isn't everything seem variable? Where is the constant? You see, so this is a more important question, you see, rather than are the emotions real? Is anything real? What is the meaning of real? You say, oh, is it true? What is the meaning of true? What do you mean by true? So you follow why it's important to understand before answer your question. We have to understand what exactly do you mean by these fundamental terms like real. Then I can answer the second part. Then are emotions real? Then I can say yes or no. But first, what do you mean? What do you understand by real? Because some people, they have a dream that one of their friends, said something bad about them. And then they wake up and they still carry this notion in their mind. Then they see the friend, they say, hey, how you doing? Say, hey, what's up, man? What's up? Say, I can't even trust you. So, what did I do? You let me down. When? Last night. Where? In my dream. Can you say like that? There's some people, they don't know. One in England, and I don't think it's the first time, soap operas, they call them soap opera. I don't know what they call opera, but anyway. So these shows that they go on, everybody watch them every day or whatever. Then in one of the actors was in the supermarket, in real life, shopping, and one woman came to him and slapped him in the face. How could you treat your wife like that? He said, what are you talking about? I'm not even married. He said, yes, you're married to so-and-so because she watched it on TV. So he behaved like his role is of a very bad husband. But now he's in real life in a supermarket, in Tesco. One woman come and, how could you treat your wife? You're not a very good person, are you? He says, where are you here? I said, what are you talking about? I'm not even married. Yes, you are. You're lying again. See, haha, like this. So people, they don't know what is real and what is not real. So much nonsense sometimes, you see. Now we laugh, but we are also similarly believing a lot of things which are not real also. You see? So before the question can be answered, are these emotions real? You see? I said, if real means what is always the same, not real for most of the day and someday not real. No, it is constantly true. We are here in Satsang to find what is real. And we are finding that many things you thought are real is not real in that sense. Or you can say, some people say, everything is real. Well, I say, well, this is the temporary expression of the real then. Because everything you're noticing is temporary. If they are real, so what about free will? Because we have feelings of free will too. How much free will do you have? Like I was talking before. Do you have the free will to wake up into final understanding, to reveal your Buddha nature? Do you have free will to do this? Do you have the free will to let people think the way you want them to think? Or yourself to think the way you want to think? You have the free will to stop your mind? You see? So these are exaggerations. Of course, the consciousness is playing with this partial expression of will, like free will and so on. But it's only partial, because when it comes to it and you look more deeply, you see, but I cannot control my projections. I don't know. I don't know what my mind is going to do next. Why don't you control it then? You can't control it. You see? So if not, why are we having natural feelings of something that doesn't exist? Dearest beloved Muji, you asked me for nothing and gave me everything. I am forever grateful. You are always my master. My heart dances and bathes in every word you speak, whether you speak or not. Much love, Caroline. This is very nice. This is good. Let me see one thing. You asked me for nothing. Gave me everything. The one who wants nothing gets everything. The one who wants everything gets trouble. Dear Muji, I stay as I am and quietly observe the mind. I notice all patterns of desire and actions arise. Should I act on them or not? This is where I get stuck. So I notice all patterns of desires and actions arise. Should I act on them or not? You see? And this is where I get stuck. For example, there is a desire to go buy something or to talk to someone about something. I see that it is based on the identity and I don't want to feed it any further. Should I just let it all play out, or should I not act on old habits? I hope this question makes sense. So this person is asking if some old tendencies come to the surface in the mind. Should I just follow them, let them happen? Should I act on them? Well, it is up to you. Some thoughts will come, and your powers of discernment and discrimination must be so much that you can look and say, this is just stupidness. It's a stupid thought. A thought arises inside that this person doesn't like you, and then every thought comes, you're going to believe this? So mostly from the psychological position, I used to say 99% of the mind's chatter psychologically, it's rubbish. Just that 1% is also rubbish. Meaning, don't get involved in it. Don't be thinking, should I do this? Stay as the self. I would say to anybody, just stay as the self. Does anybody understand what I mean when I say stay as the self? Yes, there's a neutrality. You don't have to be always in gear. Sometimes people can only be always in a gear. Always be a gear of tomorrow or yesterday, or I should do or I shouldn't do. What can I do? What should I do? Like this is gear. But the natural state of the mind is to be in emptiness, in neutrality. When something is needed, then spontaneously it comes. This is called trusting life. It proves itself. But we spend a lot of time, when we can be peaceful, planning how to be peaceful, or how to do something, how to get something. This is just a habit, and we need to discern this thing also. Should I just let it all play out, or should I not act on old habits? I hope this question makes sense. This is all just so new to me, and I still don't know how to listen to the self because I spent all my life listening to the mind. Thank you so much, Sylvia. How to listen to the self. The self doesn't have any opinions. The mind has a voice. It wants to tell you many things. Oh, go and do this thing. Oh, no, you shouldn't have done that. And go and do this thing and stay put and come over here. And you see? So if you work for your mind, you're going to be, it's full-time work also. And the wages are not good. Then you say, oh, I like to listen to my heart. What is your heart saying? Nothing, actually. When you listen to the heart, listen. You just become heart. If you listen to the heart, you just become heart. Peaceful, happy, content. All the troubles just, they go away from you. You're trying to listen to the heart. What is the heart saying? Like that. But you listen to the mind. Oh, you should do this, you should do that. Oh, you shouldn't have done that. Oh, look at them. Oh, you should come, stay over there, stay over there. No, no, don't go, don't get it. Wait, this one is looking at you. Oh, yes. Did you pay your bill? You didn't pay the bill? Oh, no. Oh, Peter, oh, this one knows you don't pay the bill. Oh, it's like this. So that's why people say, please, can you show me the switch? I want to turn it off. You can't turn it off. So you don't have to act on things that come in your mind. And if you don't, sometimes you look at them also. You don't have to be run. No, don't have to be like this. You can look at it, what comes in the mind. What is it actually saying? Because some things are practical. The mind sometimes also brings some practical things, you know. And then you must discern when there's something really okay, it's practical, or when it's just some nonsense. You have to exercise your powers of discernment. This is one of the faculties of the intelligence. No? So this is all just so new to me. What is new to you? And I still don't know how to listen to the self because I've spent all my life listening to the mind. Well, it is already changing because even to write this means that something is changing. If you're only listening to your mind, you would not write this letter. Now something is rebelling a little bit. Say, you know what, I've had enough of that actually. See? I just don't know what it means listening to the self. I would say rather than try to listen to the self, be the self. Listening to the self creates a kind of a listener to the self. Be the self, you are the self. It's like this. You think I've answered this question?
Yes.
Thank you. Beloved Muji, last week I imagined playfully that a little Martian was suddenly sent inside my body, and it naturally witnessed every thought and feeling with great innocence. The next day, I was trying to repeat the experience again, and then the misunderstanding. The little Martian is already here. I am the little spirit. The search was over. 2 days of great bliss and clarity followed. Elisa was totally dead. Now, Muji, the whole habit of the mind come back again. It is so weird. At the moment, the view is so narrow on thoughts that I cannot perceive from the being anymore. Please wake up my little Martian again. It is an emergency. Thank you so much. Much love and gratitude, Elisa. Elisa was totally dead. Signed, Elisa. I imagined playfully a little Martian was suddenly inside my body, and it naturally witnessed every thought and feeling with great innocence. A little Martian. The next day, I was trying to repeat the experience again, and then the understanding, the little Martian, is already here. I am the little spirit. Okay. The search was over. 2 days of great bliss and clarity followed. Elisa, the person you're saying, was totally dead, not there anymore. Second paragraph. Now, Muji, the whole habit of the mind come back again. It is so weird. What happened to the Martian? It is so weird. At the moment, the view is so narrow on thoughts that I cannot perceive from the being anymore. But you see, I cannot agree with that. Suppose your mind was chattering, like changing a radio station. It's a BBC. It's like this. Suppose your mind like this. And some people, if they experience like that, they would just say, my God, stop shouting. Oh. They were like this. I've seen. Awesome. Another one, it can be going on like that, and they just ignore it. And then it's like it's not going on, because if it doesn't get the food of your attention, it cannot survive. It's a relationship. You see? A bird cannot fly on one wing. Have anybody seen a bird flying with one wing? Maybe walking around in circles, maybe, but not flying. So again, like this, the mind cannot live and exist without your attention, your belief and identity. So the mind habits come back again. It is so weird. At the moment, the view is so narrow on thoughts that I cannot perceive from the beingness anymore. This also is a thought. This is also a thought. That the view has become so narrow on thoughts that I cannot perceive from the being anymore. But even you're perceiving that the view is narrow on thoughts, this is also perceived. That is also just a thought. Please wake up my little Martian again. But he didn't do his job, did he? Little Martian you don't need. Big Martian you don't need. Elisa you don't need. Something is there that doesn't have to work, doesn't need any Martian, doesn't need anything at all. Why is it not recognized? Huh? Or is it not recognized? Why? Because we still want to work with the mind, and you want to perfect the mind. You want the mind to be good. So the story continues, isn't it? I said the other day, one woman, she was totally in love with her master, a sage. She's totally in love. She says, Swamiji, I would love to marry you. So the sage says, you marry me? But you cannot marry me. She says, why? Why? I love you so much. He says, no, because you're already married. You have to get a divorce first. She said, well, Swamiji, what are you talking about? I'm single. I'm not married. He said, yes. You're married to your mind. Divorce your mind, and we'll have a most beautiful relationship, you and me. First, you divorce your mind. You don't need a talisman. You understand what a talisman is? Yeah, we don't need a talisman. This little Martian you don't need. It failed. It worked for 2 days, and it failed. Where's something inside that cannot fail? Come on, guys, give me some response now. There is something inside that cannot fail. It cannot even succeed, because these things don't apply to it, like success and failure. It does not need any trick. It does not need any technique. What am I speaking about? The self. The awareness itself. But still, we go to the mind to check in with the mind. Mind, is that true? And the mind says, well, intellectually it's true. Why you don't trust your heart? When you fall in love, you say, I fall in love with you intellectually? No. I mean, you fall in love, you fall in love. Nobody ever questions, oh, it's an intellectual love. Maybe a love for the intellect, but not an intellectual love. Muji. I know that Christianity is a belief like many other religions. Christians believe Jesus performed miracles. You speak about a Christ consciousness. I am misunderstanding, or was Christ higher than you even to be able to have performed miracles? If a second coming of Christ is believed, is what you say also pointing out the false belief in that? Are manifestations like yourself the highest, and thus the second coming so many believe is supposed to happen? Is it that Christ gave every pointing possible, and now it's up to humanity to recognize our true nature? Please comment on these concepts my mind has me contemplating. Yeah, that's good. This is from Ryan. I know that Christianity is a belief like many other religions. For some people, true Christianity, because you don't believe in Christianity, you believe in Christ, you can say, isn't it? Because Christ was not a Christian. Buddha was not a Buddhist, isn't it? And so if you want to find them, you have to go even beyond the religion to the original Christ. Where is he? There are some people for whom Christianity is only a path that points directly to something that is not a path. Jesus Christ himself say, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. It's said like this in the Christian Bible. No? And Christians have used this statement like it gave a monopoly, you see. Nobody can go to God except through Christ. But it didn't mean like that. A bit of cheating happened. I am the way, the truth, and the life. That is true. Because anyone who has realized the truth can say this thing. I am not going to show you only a way. I am myself the way also, the truth and the life. So are you also the way, the truth, and the life? No one comes to the Father except through me. No one comes to the Father except through the I am, you can say. But through me, unless he was speaking to a very high audience, and who understood that when he says to me, they understood him to be through the consciousness or the presence or something. But left as it is, nakedly like that, it left a lot of interpretation, and I felt it was a little bit of a manipulation of the text. It is. Now, Christians all believe Jesus performed miracles. Yes, he did. The miracles are being performed now also. Many. Miracles that Jesus used to perform are being performed also now. Through the Holy Spirit, those who believe in. It is not, this is, if you don't know this thing, I don't know, it's not even a question of belief. These things are happening, you know. Christians believe Jesus performed miracles. You speak about Christ consciousness. Am I misunderstanding, or was Christ higher than you even to be able to have performed miracles? We think of also miracles, that miracles is the highest thing in that respect, you see. Even in the days of Jesus, some of his disciples came and said, there's a man over there who is also doing miracles. But he is using your name and associating himself with you. And Jesus said, listen, Jesus said, don't worry about that. He's on our side. Don't worry, leave him to do that. But people, they want miracles. They want something to be done for them. They don't really want to do it for themselves also. And miracles usually are something phenomenal. It was a miracle that Jesus rose Lazarus from the dead. It says Lazarus was a very close friend of Jesus. And Lazarus has two sisters, Mary and Martha. You must maybe know of them. And when Lazarus was sick, the sisters sent word to the Lord saying, please come, the one you love is sick and dying. But he didn't go there straight away. By the time he got there, Lazarus already died a few days. And this is in the East, where, you know, like, there's no mortuary where they put you on ice for so you're dead after 1-2 days. They put you inside something or bury the body or something. So after 3-4 days, you know, the body's already decomposing, it says. Then Jesus called out to Lazarus. They said, move this stone from the tomb. And he called out, Lazarus, come out. And this body came out, wrapped up in all bandages and stuff like this. Okay, believe it or not, that's your thing. For me, it's that is a natural thing. And then what happened? But Lazarus died again, no? At some point, isn't it? So if the miracles are only for the body, then they will only endure for as long as the body. They are still something phenomenal, isn't it? Jesus didn't heal people eternally. He healed their bodies in order to strengthen their faith, to go higher than that. Do you follow or not what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah? Sometimes we say miracles, oh my God, it's supernatural. Oh, that's the highest. Because we like these things. And they are good. They testify to the glory of God and of truth. You see, and that there's some power that works like this. In the human kingdom, in all the kingdoms, there's a power that works like this, miraculously. We are still arguing, oh, do you believe it? What's there to believe? It's obvious, actually. Your own life is a miracle that you can't even see. But if you're talking about those type of miracles, they're happening all the time. People being healed and all kind of way of blindness and so on. But is that the highest? No, it is not the highest. It is not the highest. Also, Sai Baba of Shirdi, many people would go to Sai Baba of Shirdi and ask him, because he was a saint that manifested healing in this way also for many people. And one time the close attendant asked him, Swamiji, why do you keep giving in to these people? They're asking you for all kind of stuff. You give them all this, what they ask for. Why you do this? And he said, I give people what they want, so that one day they will want what I want to give them. I give them what they want now, in the hope that one day they will want what I really have to give them. You see? They come, please help me, I can't do this. Even in India, in the south of India, beloved Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, he was also a Siddha, meaning that one who has these supernatural abilities, powers, you know. Okay? Now, people would come, even when I was with him, people would come and ask him, Swamiji, you know, my business is not doing so well, and, you know, we had a very bad year, please bless us. And they, oh, Ram, okay, go. You go. Swamiji, you know, we have been trying to have a child for so long. Okay. In July next year, you have something. These things happen, you know? Okay? Miraculous? Yes. The highest? No. And he knows also. What is the highest? What is it that Sri Sai Baba of Shirdi wants to give? You want them to want the knowledge of this, the living truth. But as yet, that aspiration hasn't grown to that level yet. Do you follow or not?
Yes.
You're going to ask for some miracle about something, but that miracle also is phenomenal, and it will pass also.
Yeah.
But I'm pointing to something which will not pass. Do I speak against miracles? Not at all. They're a wonderful expression of consciousness too. I'm not against anything at all. But I'm saying higher than that. So you're asking, am I misunderstanding, or was Christ higher than you even to be able to have performed it? I have no measurement. One day we were in Satsang, and someone asked Papaji, Papaji, of Buddha and Christ and Krishna, who was the greatest? Then everybody sat up. Oh. Even the ones who were sleeping, they want to know who is he going to speak now? Who? So Papaji said, I am the greatest. I am is the greatest. Yeah. Because all of them is spun out of expressions of the I am. You see? Was Christ higher than you even to be able to have performed miracles? Raising the dead and so on were great miracles, but the real miracle was what happened in the hearts of people to make them aspire to know God inside themselves. Because that, he said, is everlasting life. Didn't say, I'm going to heal your leg, that's going to be everlasting leg. No. He says, no, I want to heal your mind so you discover the everlasting God and the everlasting truth. This is the miracle. But the people, well, you know, I can show you the way to eternal life. Yeah, but could you give me a baby? Okay, go have a baby, go have a baby. Okay. If a second coming of Jesus is believed, is what you say also pointing out the false belief in that? Why should be false belief in that? Second coming, second coming. Where has Jesus been for 2,000 years? He said 2,000 years ago he left. Where is he hanging out for 2,000 years to make second coming now? Where did he go? On which cloud he lived in? So people don't understand these things. They have too physical mind. You have to bring Jesus forward. You have to bring him again out of you. It's not his second coming. There's thousands and thousands of comings. He's coming. In the heart of each one. The Buddha has to come in the heart of each one. The Christ has to come in the heart of each one. The Christ consciousness must awaken in the heart of each one. The Krishna consciousness must awaken in the heart of each one. That is the real coming. But those who just believe in heaven as a physical place, you will experience heaven in a physical place also. It's okay. But heaven is also a state of mind and a state of being also. A jnani or a sage is not running after heaven. Take it or leave it. It's beyond everything. His state is heavenly, but he doesn't hang on to a heaven. While you have a human mind, you will have also a conditioned heaven. You'll have the heaven that you like. Maybe I don't want to live in your heaven. We go to bed and you have a dream, and you have a very unique dream. You cannot share your dream with anybody. Even your beloved is sleeping with you, and you can't plug in, like, put headphones on and listen to this. You cannot plug in. It's a very unique, unrepeatable experience. Similarly, the waking state is also, you cannot share in the way that you experience it. It is also unique. It is very, very much a localized experience. Your unique way of perceiving the waking state. Everybody has their own idea of what things should be. This is why I say that you have to be the cow that jumped over the moon. What is this moon? The conditioned mind. You're not going to have a common humanity where we are all one while you have a mind that you venerate so much. You have to go beyond the mind, back again into your own heart. Only the one in the heart is the universal being. The one in the mind is not a universal being. You follow? They are very particular. They are a tribal being. The one who has discovered the universal truth. That one has jumped over the moon. Are manifestations like yourself the highest, and thus the second coming, so many believe, is supposed to happen? Human beings, we believe many things. In every age we have some big thing we believe. Okay, now there's going to be, the earth is going to be covered again in waters. Everybody going up to the mountains, living up in the mountain. Oh, the world is going to be burnt down to sin that people start to build houseboats to go and live on the sea. Or this thing is going to happen, that thing is going to happen. Okay, as you like. But rather than waiting for these things, why don't you find the thing which is timeless now? There's something that's not waiting. The real self, the truth, is not an event that's going to happen. Is it that Christ gave every pointing possible, and now it is up to humanity to recognize our true nature? Also, as much as the people that he spoke to in his time had the capacity to assimilate the highest truth, different people absorbed from Christ's teachings and his presence different things. Some people absorbed much more cultural things. Some became much more religious. Some books in the Bible are much more spiritual, you can say. Like the book of John, of all the four Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, has much more of a spiritual quality, a much more subtle quality. Others have a slightly different. Some speak about the miracles. Others talk about somehow the teachings and like this. Each to cater for the taste and the temperament of the people who would come into contact with him. See, it is like that. The one chef is serving all these meals to every generation, to every tribe, to every culture, according to their capacity. Just like Chinese people love Chinese food, Indian people love Indian food. So Indian people like Indian religion, Chinese people like Chinese religion, whatever it is like that. Which is the best? Well, it depends who you're talking with. But to the one who sees, will see the truth in all of them. He will go to the core of all of them. You have to be that one. That is what is happening here. We are not creating another tribe. I'm pointing you to the universal heart, which is inside your own being. So that you are not afraid of any religion. So that you see the same one truth, the same one God, the same one love in all of them. I hesitated to write because I don't know if it's in the mind my urge to write. The words of Muji has directed me to have a direct experience that has showed me what is real and what is not. The attention is very powerful, and that is the source of whether you stay in the self or go with the mind. The only question that is left is, who is it that is speaking? Very good. I am aware of it, but I don't identify with it, not the mind or even the emotions that arise. I don't know who is writing this letter, and I don't know who speaks when I speak now. I speak from the place I have discovered, seeing that this idea of myself is so unreal as I have discovered. The question remains, who is speaking now? Thanks to you, Muji. There's a lot that I can say, but even my experience with this discovery, I am not attaching to any conclusion. Even sometimes I hear the reminders of the satsang and I bring the attention back to now because the mind is so sneaky. But it's a joy to see the difference now. Thank you. Hallelujah. Good letter, no? Someone whose attention is so acute, who is looking, but their eyes are inside their heart. Sometimes we are looking, but your eyes are in the thing you're looking at. But this is one looking, but the eyes and the mind are in the heart. So when your eyes and your mind is in your heart, you can look anywhere. You can look at things in minute things, but you don't get sucked into them. Some people cannot do that. They watch a movie, boom, they're gone. Huh? They read a letter, boom, they're gone. They're singing hallelujah, somebody go, hey, boom, they're gone. So, like this. But this one is looking and observing, but always the mind is in the heart. So, even though mind can appear to be sneaky, but what sneaky mind? Then don't give too much credibility to sneaky mind. It's not sneaky, don't worry about it. So mind becomes nothing. And the greatest victory over the psychological mind is when it becomes insignificant for you. What it has to say, insignificant for you. Boom, it's finished. Namaste, Muji. I have been searching for so many answers all my life, for lots of things. But this last year, I have started to look more inside of me, and this search has been the most pleasant of all my life, and you have been part of it. I participate in the live satsangs over the internet, and every day I watch your videos. Thank you so much for being an amazing light. I would like to say some words about it. How can I help people in depression or having hard times in life? Or why I keep wanting to share these amazing discoveries about this inward treasure we are to make people feel better or complete. Don't I have to be busy in completing this discovery about myself first? Oh, yes, you do. Oh, so many things. Thank you very, very much, my dear Muji. Big hug from Brazil. Brazil wrote this letter? Ivana. Ah, Ivana must be that. Don't we know somebody called Ivana? So this is another thing. Sometimes you have discovered something and naturally you want to share. Sometimes people want to share. I want to share my discovery. And I said, no, don't share. Don't share. Get fully cooked. Get fully cooked. And then somehow, if sharing is meant to come out of your life, then so be it. You'll find it is something natural for you. Then you'll not have to ask, did I do the right thing or the wrong thing? You can only ask that when you are prematurely cooked. Then you have premature question, not quite sure. So you stay in the fire, stay getting cooked. The food is given to you, you eat it. Don't give it to somebody else. Not yet. Not yet. You eat the food first. So, like some people, they say, oh, they see all these beings drowning in the ocean of samsara. And they see others going into the shop to buy bikinis to go and join this big drowning. And they say, oh, I feel so sorry, I want to save them, I want to save them. And they start to run down into the water going, come to me, but you can't swim. come. First, you have to swim. You have to be such a good swimmer, and then you have to be so good to at least carry one more person while you're swimming. But if you're out of compassion, please come to me, I want to help you, but you can't swim. So first you have to finish yourself off. Don't try and help people prematurely. If it, of course, by the way, as you're going, don't refuse to help. What life brings spontaneously. That's your time. But don't go out looking. Don't go and buy a Superman costume and start to go about like this. Just keep quiet and how can I help people in depression or having hard times in life? It's very difficult to help someone in depression. You know. Only someone who's coming from here can do that. The usual man doesn't know. He says all the wrong things. You said all the wrong things. You ever go to somebody's house and something happened bad and you go and try to help them say all the wrong things? All the things you're not supposed to say. And you're being compassionate. Oh, you'll have another one. What? Or why I keep wanting to share these amazing discoveries about this inward treasure we are to make people feel better or complete. It's a natural excitement a little bit, but it must mature. It must mature, you see. Something is itching to want to tell. The gossiper, wants to tell. You see? I said, no, just keep quiet. And when you keep quiet, at first it's itching. I know the answer. He says, keep quiet. Actually, better you go for a walk. But if you keep quiet, then after something goes and gets exhaled out, then you feel very quiet and you don't need to offer any advice. Then you may be aware that just the presence is enough. The presence is informing everything. Then the presence itself can also start to affect the environment around you. People you can feel them dropping into this self. That's beautiful, you see. I don't have to be busy in completing this discovery don't I have to be busy in completing this discovery about myself? Yes, this is an intelligent ending. Instead of running after trying to share, should I not stabilize my own understanding first? Yes, you do, see? Then so many things come like that. And we have to go through that. Sometimes you have to go through all these different things. You don't know what is right, what is right. And you expected it to be much more easy. But right there, you are going to mature so fast. The most human beings in the normal flow of growth, they are moving at a certain pace, generally. But the one who is in satsang is moving 5-6 times faster because the ego is not so much. Once you understand what the ego is and you see his work, then you can bypass very much quicker. Finish like that. Thank you. How are we doing? Dearest Muji, words in your last online satsang inspired me to write to you. So far, I'm nowhere with the inquiry. I'm making sittings, listening to satsangs all the time, and still I can't report any progress in the finding. The change is happening. No value in social life to career, no achievements, but no clarity on the who am I, or rather discernment of the self and mind. All I wish is to discover the miracle of life. Can you please walk me through the inquiry from the beginning? You talk about seeing the seer first, and then asking who is that seer. For me, the seer is like seeing with eyes closed, And for me, it is mind looking. You mentioned about the mind can also look. But I also say, but what is looking at the mind? See, if you really follow this question, you can write it down and repeat, check it again, but what is watching the mind? See? And don't just answer mentally. Really try to experience what the question is pointing. But it is not the awareness, because mind is being witnessed, not the witnesser. You see, answering your own question. Blessed with your guidance, I wish to be with you in heart and presence. Zina. You talk about seeing the seer first and then asking who is that seer. For me, the seer is like seeing with eyes closed, and for me it is the mind looking. You mentioned about the mind, that the mind can also look. But it is not the awareness, because mind is being witnessed by the witness. Mind is being witnessed by the witnesser. What knows the witnesser, you see? You've done much of the inquiry, but the last you have not finished. Now, what is witnessing the witnesser itself? You have to feel your way through this. Feel. Don't imagine, don't create, feel. From here, all signs are homeward. All help is taking you home. Mind is behaving for a while, don't want you to go home. Stay out here and play with me. I show you lots of places to go. But at a certain point, everything is heading home. Everything is homebound. You start to smell the home cooking. I'll try and see another one or two of these. Hello, Muji. Anything that comes can also go. This implies truth is here right now, eternally, every minute of the day. So there's nothing to wait for, and the only thing that hasn't come or gone is my own existence. Yet, there is often no peace. So it has been said that peace is just when the annoyance of mind, ego, I thought vanishes, and what remains, remains. Yet, there are certainly times during the day when one is working or just being still without an I thought, and still there doesn't seem to be the peace that the sage experiences, nor the wisdom and knowledge that spontaneously pour out of the sage. I have heard you say that waves of illumination will come to the Jnani, but this implies something coming and not already here now. Can you please elucidate this seeing paradox? Greg from New Jersey, USA. I speak about waves of illumination to come, you see. I heard you say that the waves of illumination will come to the Jnani, but this implies something coming and not already here now. What is here now, but you're not seeing. So the light of illumination come to show you what is here now. You swallow. Yeah? It's not the here now comes. The light comes to show you what is here now, because you can't see the here now. You are the here now, looking for the here now. So the light of understanding comes to expose this delusion, you see. So it's not the here now that comes. The light of consciousness comes to brighten your mind and to light your way. How are we doing now? My gosh. Dear Muji, you mentioned there's only the absolute, the ocean, the unspeakable. Please may I ask, have you experienced anything even beyond the absolute, the unspeakable in any way? Have I experienced anything beyond the unspeakable, the absolute? If I experience something beyond the absolute, then the absolute is not absolute. Isn't it? You mean the super absolute? It's just about, is there any sign, and in brackets, you know of or have sensed of, that the impression of the absolute is also just an illusion? The absolute is not an image in my mind. We use the word, but it's not the word. The absolute is not the word or the concept of the absolute. You see? The word is where the limitation is. I just had to ask you this. Now I will be quiet and look inside again, as you often point out, to confirm myself. With your way of pointing, you are one of the most precious treasures for me in this human life. Sending thanks and love can only express a minimum of what is really here. May all of you, may all for you, my all for you. Antje, Antje, how you pronounce? Antje, Antje. You mentioned about the absolute, the ocean, the unspeakable. Please, may I ask, have you experienced anything even beyond the absolute, the unspeakable in any way? So who would I have to be to go beyond the absolute? Who would I have to be to go beyond the absolute? Don't give this me so much importance. This me that is being perceived in your mind is only a phenomenon also to my own self. It's just about, is there any sign you know or have sensed of that the impression of the absolute is also an illusion? What impression of the absolute is it? What impression can the absolute have? Absolute is only denoting something which is itself formless. You see. Absolute is not an object. It has no shape or no dimension, no weight or size. Nothing in the category of qualities. You see. I just had to ask you this. Now I will be quiet and look inside again, as you often point out, to confirm myself here. When your attention is turned inside, and it goes past the realm of objects and form or name or all the subtleties of perception. Now it's gone past it. It's finished this kingdom now. But it's not finishing going this way. It's finishing it going this way, coming this way, in. And what is there? Then also in and out disappear also. Please listen, I'm going to finish. In and out also, it passes in and out also. You and me, this and that, heaven and earth, everything is passing. Then where do we come now? Don't use your mind. Mind can only give you an image. We're past image, we're past the realm of images now. Of thought and opinion, and speculation and assumptions. We're past those now. Now where are we now? Here. I'm speaking in words like we are arriving here, but I'm never left here. I can't leave here. I'm just here. And it cleans everything that I say to you, because everything is baptized in this understanding. Whatever we speak about, take its birth in this place here. Has its life here and passes away in here. But what is, what I am, can never pass away. Hi Muji, I have a confusion while I am self-inquiring. When I am listening to you in YouTube and self-inquiring, to who is listening at the same time, I experience two things. One, I reach to a state where I just hear your voice. At that point, I am not even aware of who is listening, or even not aware of I am. There is just listening, or you can say I become what I am listening, or what is listening, and I am the same thing. Number two, and there is another point where I am aware that I am listening. I am, and what I am listening to has separation. Yes. Who is my real self? The one that is aware that I am listening, or the experience I mentioned in which I am and listening is the same thing? Or is the awareness that I am while listening a thought? My name is Prakash Bastola. I live in the United States of America. Who is my real self? The one that is aware that I am listening? Or the experience I mention in which I am and listening is the same? Or is the awareness that I am while listening only a thought? So even the sense I am also is perceived. Listening is perceived. Listener is perceived. What is being listened to is perceived. But the perceiver, can the perceiver be perceived of all of this? One question is going to undo all of this mystery. That which is able to see all of this. The listening, the I am, the listening and the I am is the same. What sees this? Whose words are these? Whose confirmation are these? You see? I understand that this type of question, you see, I want to tell you something. I was not brought up like that. I'm not somebody who could use my mind much. I was always a bit turned off. In my family, when people got to discuss these type of things, I was not there. I was out playing football or something. I was not someone who read books or nothing like this and was into philosophical. One of my brothers, he's just passed away not long ago. He was this philosophical type. He was always sit and they would sit, he and my ex-partner would sit and they'd talk about all these things, and not interested in that. So when this first arose inside for me, it didn't come like that. In fact, just discovering of the presence, which I call the God, that was my first major experience. Yeah. Something had announced itself here, presence here. And it was not my usual presence. It was definitely something. Now you can say, well, I don't know where it come from. So we imagine it come from somewhere else, because I wasn't used to that before, to be touched in such a profound way. So I related to it in the only way I could. Thank you, Father. I always regarded God, Father. This is how I felt like that. The first time I encountered, because something wanted to learn more, just to be devouring all of what I could find about it. So I went one time to a bookshop and I first discovered the book of Ramana Maharishi. You've seen his pictures around here a lot. But when I first saw him, when I first saw a little booklet on self-inquiry, I saw this beautiful, serene face. I said, he looks like the business. So I started to look through. When I started to look at the book, I said, my God, I think somebody made a mistake and put this beautiful cover on the wrong book. The face looked so serene, so peaceful. But I could not understand what they're talking about. I'm not the senses, not the mind. Oh. Because for me, God knows best. I don't want to know anything. You know best. You know. But it brought me to this thing. But I could not understand. It seemed so sophisticated, no? Huh? And in those years, I would just sit. I did not have anything to say. People were coming to my house. I was meeting people on the street. They want to meet you. They want to touch you and all this type of thing. I was just aware of all these kind of things happening. Miraculous things, in fact, happening now. And then some people started to come to the house. They were want to ask questions. But I said, I don't know anything at all. I don't know anything at all. Just I could sit and look at them and feel this power going, coming like this. But this, I don't know anything at all. And then I asked, Father, you're bringing these people here. And I don't know what to say to them. So they are asking questions. You have to answer this question because I don't know how to answer the question. This is how I started to talk about this thing. I don't know how to talk about this thing. Then they start ask questions. And as they ask, I could see the answer in me. So yeah, it was like this. So oh, look at that. That's how it started like that. And now I don't see that there's anyone who is going into the inquiry in that way. From where I come from, you understand? To be speaking like this. And to be guiding the mind into these places. To reverse the mind. To show it, bring it back to the source. Where it come from. Nothing in my upbringing is like this, I'm telling you. And yet I can tell you, it is the most simple thing I'm speaking. Just a simple thing. I'm not a philosopher, I don't sit around like this. But I see you. When you speak, I can only see you showing the signs that you are somehow open enough to go here, you know. And that's not even something that you do. I cannot even say you do this. Sometimes something comes out to soften you up so that you can go through. I have to squeeze you through this hole. Push you through. Okay, good, you're out through that. It knows this thing. But if it's not possible with you right now, we say, oh, don't worry about it, forget about it. Soon. Soften up or something. Where it come from then? Come from inside. So don't try and figure out the world, figure out things. Don't figure nothing out. Just say yes inside. Yes, I'm here for this. Take me, guide me, and trust. And you don't know how it starts, what happened somehow. You don't know how life is going to be. I don't want to know anything from anybody about the life. I don't want to know nothing. I don't accept anything from anybody about the life. I don't. God is my secretary. God arranged all my meetings, everything like this is like this. I don't know nothing at all. I don't want to know anything at all. About worldly thing, I don't know anything at all. But if you come and you're looking like this, something comes. I call it, you may call it whatever you like, the Holy Spirit. When searched for, I cannot find any self independent of that. Because of language and like this, tradition, one speaks like this, I have to do this, I have to do that thing. But I don't know where it comes from, who's speaking like that. But I know that some beings have come here who are ready to wake up. If there's none of them here, I don't want to be here. I don't have nothing to do. I love Portugal, but I don't want to be any place to sit around with people who just want to party. No, here is a place where the beings are going to come to wake up. To wake up, wake up, wake up. Because what else is there in the life? What are you going to show me in life that's going to interest me now? What is it? No, the only joy there is here is to watch you discovering your own God consciousness, Christ consciousness, Shiva being, Krishna light. This is it. Nothing so beautiful. And when I look at you, that's all I see. That is all I see. That's why I'm so happy. Unstoppably happy. Happy, 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 happy. I can't tell you. I'm too happy actually. I'm too happy and I've done nothing for it. Sometimes I get a bit annoyed, no? If I see that people wasting, if I feel like you're wasting, but it's just so, they're not for long, not for long. I don't know what's going on. Can you imagine to be in this life of the mind if there was no way out of it? This is why I say, but there's a way out. And the way out is the way in. Go inside. Find what is inside. People say, but how can you believe in God? Is that duality? Some tremendous power, full of love, is guiding your journey. I'll tell you. And everything is here. Everything is here. The wisdom to go beyond every concept is here. And the joy to embrace the light of God is here. And to show you the love of God and the power of God and the might of the Holy Spirit. And to pay respect and reverence to all the holy saints and the prophets who have come on this earth. Because this is our turn, our time now. And you must venerate the true. This is what I come. Yeah. So we are unstoppable. Even if this body stops, what is moving this body cannot stop. To discover that you're not merely flesh and blood and bones and all kind of strange liquids. And you're not just your mind or your conditioning. Already you are just swimming in joy. Why not? Isn't it? So I'll leave these for next time, I think. Thank you, everybody. Why are you laughing at my shoes?